My precious light, my child whom heaven has whispered about since before the world was formed. Do you notice it, that sudden stirring in your chest, that pull you can't quite explain? It's not fear, it's recognition. Deep down your spirit already knows this moment was designed with your name written across it. For a long time, I, Archangel Michael, have been keeping watch, waiting for the clock of heaven to strike the right second. And that second is now. Prophecy itself leaned forward and declared, "It's time." You are not here by accident. You didn't stumble across these words just because. I stand before you because God says, "Do not let my child miss this moment." That is how important this is. Congratulations, beloved, your miracle is no longer on the way. It has arrived. But understand this, blessings are like open doors. They won't remain open forever. I've seen people hesitate and watch their opportunity fade, but I've also seen people step forward boldly and heaven's favor rushed in like a flood. This message isn't casual background noise. It's an appointment set long before your first breath. That's why you feel this tug inside. Even if you try to ignore it, it would keep calling you back. So pause right here, breathe, center your heart. Because what I am about to share isn't just words, it's part of the story heaven has been weaving through your life from the very beginning. Stay with me. Don't let distractions steal this. You must listen not with tired ears but with that part of you that still believes in impossible breakthroughs. Because the miracle waiting for you is unique. It won't come again in exactly this way. If you are reading this now, it means you are already standing in the center of your answered prayer. My job is to make sure you don't walk away from the very thing your soul has been aching for. God says, tell them their answer is already moving toward them, but the way they respond in this moment will shape how it arrives. Think about that. Haven't you noticed how often you've been overlooked, misunderstood, or told, maybe one day? Heaven never promised you someday. Heaven declared, now. This now is delicate but powerful, like ink on holy scrolls carrying your name. And here's the beauty, the door you've been begging for isn't locked anymore. It's already open. You only need to step through it. Look around you, doesn't the air feel different? The light itself seems sharper, like it's been painted with fresh colors. Even the silence feels alive, like a storm that is calm but charged with energy. That's not coincidence. That's heaven shifting in your favor. Listen carefully. I'm not here to talk about a far-off one day. I'm here to announce that your one day has walked into your today. Every tear, every prayer you whispered when no one else was watching, it tilted heaven in your direction. That weight pressing on your chest. That's the soundless sound of gates swinging wide open. And I, Archangel Michael, have been assigned to escort you through them before they close again. Your miracle isn't waiting in the distance. It's breathing the same air you are right now. It has entered the atmosphere of your life. All that's left is your yes, not a polite yes, not a half-hearted nod, but a wholehearted yes, I am ready. But beware, fear will try to talk you out of this. Fear whispers, this can't be for you, maybe it's coincidence, maybe you should wait. Fear is a liar. Its job is to chain you to the same place you've been stuck for too long. Heaven didn't send me to tell you to wait and see. Heaven sent me because once you open your heart, the current of divine change will pull you straight into what you've been praying for, even if you didn't have words to pray for it. Deep in your spirit you know exactly what I mean. Even if your mind is scrambling, your soul recognizes the truth when it hears it. That tug, that ache, that spark in your chest, that's your confirmation. Understand this, beloved, you are the chosen one for this moment. Not someone more polished, not someone with fewer scars, not someone who looks holier on the outside. You with your mistakes, your victories, your messy history, your hidden battles that no one ever saw. You who kept going when you wanted to quit. You who felt abandoned but kept whispering prayers into the night. God saw all of it, every second. And now the answer is pressing against the walls of your life, waiting for you to let it in. But your yes cannot be casual. This isn't something to nod at and then walk away from. If you want this blessing, receive it like you've been waiting your whole life for it, because the truth is you have. Let me share something only your angel would know. You've been dangerously close to giving up. There were moments you thought, maybe it's better to stop hoping, maybe nothing will change. But heaven wouldn't let you kill your own hope. That's why even when you tried to bury it, it resurfaced. A dream here, a phrase you overheard, a strange coincidence that made you pause. That was destiny refusing to die. And now that stubborn destiny has ripened into a miracle ready to be harvested. What was planted with your tears will be gathered back in joy. And that joy is closer than your next breath. So lean in. Stay with me. Don't let doubt pull you away. This is not the season of delay. This is the season of fulfillment. The gates are open, the scrolls are sealed with your name, and the blessing has been delivered. And when you step forward with your yes, heaven itself will move to make sure nothing can block what has already been assigned to you. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $100. You are standing in the middle of a divine handoff. Not just a line of words on a screen, but a living exchange where heaven slides what's been promised into your life. Do not scroll away. Don't let your attention scatter. Every sentence you read now is like a link being forged in a chain that will pull you into the very fulfillment you've begged for. This is not coincidence. This is a transaction between heaven and earth, and your obedience to stay with this message is the signature heaven needs to release the rest of what's coming. God says, "Do not let them go until they understand I am here." Under that command, keeping you in this place until your heart can say, "Yes, I receive." Right now, unseen forces are working on your behalf. Angels are aligning conversations, opening doors, and arranging meetings so that ordinary moments suddenly feel charged, like a casual chat that turns into a life-changing offer or a random message that answers months of worry. You might call them coincidences. I call them divine appointments. For months, maybe years, you felt small sparks inside you, a sense that something huge was hovering but not yet visible. You wondered if it was wishful thinking. You told yourself it might be imagination. I tell you plainly that stirring was real. It was heaven tuning you to the frequency of your hour. Those whisperings were not comfort tricks. They were preparations. You are poised at the threshold of the very thing you have longed for, and everything that felt like a detour, the closed doors, the broken conversations, the losses, has been a careful arranging of pieces so the blessing would fit perfectly when it arrived. Imagine a farmer who waits through seasons of drought, planting secret seeds and tending them quietly. One day the rains come and the harvest appears suddenly, almost shockingly abundant. That's how your life will feel, seasons of hidden work giving way to a sudden overflowing harvest. Every tear, every midnight prayer, every small act of staying faithful has been a seed. Heaven does not waste pain, it repurposes it into proof, into soil for what comes next. You may be tempted to doubt. That inner voice that questions, is this real, is the very reason an angel has been dispatched to you with urgency. Even if you try to walk away, these words will echo until you return, it is that persistent. The blessing you stand before is essential to the destiny God wrote for you. It isn't optional. It will not complete without your yes. Please hear me, this moment requires active receiving. It won't push into you without your consent. Heaven waits for your open hand. While you read, angels are moving in places you cannot see. They are touching minds in boardrooms, softening hearts in living rooms, and prompting a ministry or company to make a call. People you have never met are being positioned to say exactly the thing that opens your next door. The pattern of your life is rearranging itself in subtle ways, a phone call that reroutes a plan, an email that lands at the perfect moment, an encounter that seems ordinary but carries a seed of breakthrough. These are not random. They are field notes of heaven's strategy. And listen, the answer you long for is closer than you think. Not weeks, not months, it's already moving toward you. It will arrive in ways that feel both natural and supernatural. You might receive a sudden insight that dissolves a long confusion. You might get an unexpected invitation. Or a closed relationship may thaw and become a channel for favor. Part of the miracle is how quickly one breakthrough will trigger another. Doors swing open in sequence, not by accident but by intentional design. When one piece falls into place, momentum pulls the next one forward. Now let me give you practical posture for this hour. First, keep your attention. Don't let the enemy hijack your focus with petty drama or fear. Second, prepare to say yes quickly. When the opportunity appears, do not overanalyze until the moment passes. Third, speak gratitude now, not after you see it but before. Thanking God in advance is like lighting a signal that brings the blessing right into alignment with your heart. Gratitude is active faith, it accelerates what's already been decided. There will be tests, small unexpected pressures designed to see whether you will take root in fear or stand firm in trust. When those come, answer them with two things, a one-line truth and a short action. Speak out a simple truth such as, "This is mine, I receive," and do one small step that shows commitment. Reply to the message, accept the meeting, say yes to the offer. Faith without movement can stall miracles. Your simple actions will unlock the sequence that heaven has arranged. Remember too, restoration from God often multiplies what was lost. He does not simply hand back the same cup. He pours abundance into it. If seasons of favor were stolen from you, expect not just return but increase. If relationships frayed, watch for deeper reconnection, not mere apologies. God builds better than before, and part of this season is that your capacity to steward the blessing has been built silently through your trials. As the currents shift, you'll notice people responding differently to you. Some will rejoice openly. Some will fall silent, surprised by the turn of events. A few may try to explain away what they once did. Don't be distracted by their reactions. Let your life's new trajectory be the proof, let your humility be the cover. Use this season to serve, not to boast. Keep your heart generous as doors open. Generosity keeps blessings moving. Finally, anchor this word deep in your spirit: you are not late. You were never late. You were on a spiritual timetable that required hidden work. The season of survival is closing. The season of thriving has arrived. Stand ready, beloved. Your yes moves heaven, and heaven is already on the move for you. Receive it, steward it, and watch how quickly what once seemed impossible becomes the story you tell with joy. Hold fast, stay alert, and when the first sign appears, step through without hesitation. The chain being built in the unseen is fastening to the visible, and your miracle is about to cross the threshold into your hands. That seed has finally broken the soil, and what rises will not be a timid shoot, it will be a tree whose shade shelters generations. You have lived seasons where hope felt like a fragile ember. Tonight that ember is becoming flame. I have watched the slow, careful work done in the unseen, angels pruning, rearranging, covering and nurturing what was hidden. Now the growth breaks through, and you will see evidence in the natural. It may start small: a sudden clarity, a phone call that fits a long puzzle, a person turning up with the exact help you needed, but then the growth will accelerate. What took years to prepare will move like wind once it has begun. Do not mistake the quiet of this hour for inactivity. Quiet is often the final hush before a celebration. There is a hush in heaven right now as the orchestration completes, musicians are taking their places and trumpets are being readied. When the first note sounds, it will not be timid. It will be unmistakable. You will find yourself smiling in the middle of ordinary tasks as doors you thought were bolted simply open. The things you once counted as losses will show up as the foundation for greater returns. The enemy used to think he could retell your story with shame. Watch how his script flips into testimony. This is why your posture matters. A single simple act of faith will do more than 1,000 anxious plans. Speak your yes. Say it simply: I receive. Say it aloud if you can. Say it in a whisper if that's all you have. Your yes is not a magic formula, it is your cooperation with the movement that heaven has already begun. Think of it as stepping into an elevator that's already halfway up. If you hesitate, the doors will close and the ride will continue without you. But if you step in, the lift takes you to floors you could not climb alone. Expect the first signs to come through people. Someone will remember you in a way that used to feel impossible. A former critic may become an advocate, a job contract or connection that once seemed out of reach will be slid across a desk, a quiet prayer will be answered by an unexpected check, a meeting or a new door. Be ready to receive without trying to analyze how it fits every piece immediately. Many of God's moves only show their full design after a few steps. Take the steps you are asked to take, move where doors open. There will also be internal shifts. Calm will settle into parts of you that have been strained for too long. Old anxieties will loosen their grip. You will find yourself waking with a different expectation, not frantic but anchored. Your decisions will begin to bear the imprint of wisdom earned in the fires of waiting. Don't be surprised if gifts you thought asleep come alive in you: creativity, bold compassion, leadership, healing, insight. These are part of the harvest. The life that reappears will be fuller, wiser, and better equipped to steward what has arrived. Now a caution. Victory does not give license to pride. When favor appears, humility must appear louder. The easiest trap is to posture and perform, the higher way is to receive and steward. Let your first response be gratitude. Thank God immediately, not after you tally the outcome. Gratitude calibrates your spirit to receive more. It also honors the one who arranged everything without your help. If someone comes and tries to minimize your blessing or stir jealousy, refuse to be drawn into arguments. Let your life speak. Quiet dignity is a powerful witness. There may be one more pressure before the breakthrough becomes obvious, a last gasp of opposition meant to test whether your faith is rooted in God or in the idea of the blessing itself. When that comes, remember, test is temporary, testimony is permanent. Hold fast. Do not trade the promise for a short release of fear. The easiest way to fail at the threshold is to reach for a quick fix. Choose trust instead. Say, "This too shall pass," and you will see how quickly it does. Practical steps for the next hours: keep your phone ready. Answer the incoming call even if it interrupts plans. Open the message you might otherwise delete. Attend the meeting you almost skipped. When a new person offers to meet, accept or at least hear them out. Heaven loves to hide openings in ordinary encounters. Also write down any nudges or impressions. God often talks in fragments that become full sentences when acted upon. When an idea arrives with a calm authority, move on it. Small obedience unlocks large doors. As your world begins to rearrange, trust the people who stand with you. Bring a few trusted voices into the conversation, those who pray with you and think with you, and let them help steward this season. Not everyone should have access to every detail. Wise secrecy sometimes protects the next steps from premature exposure. But do not isolate, celebration is communal. Let true friends rejoice and let mentorship guard your moves. Remember, this is not only about what you receive but about what you will give back. The abundance that comes will call for wise stewardship. Whether it's time, resources, influence or new platforms, think beyond personal comfort. Ask, how can this be used to heal, help, or build. Generosity multiplies favor. Leadership in the kingdom of heaven always carries a service DNA. Those who are promoted are called to serve even more. Finally, anchor this in your spirit: the story is not over. This is a vivid pivot, not a final destination. There will be more chapters ahead, larger tasks and broader stewardship than you imagined. But tonight the seed that was planted in hardship breaks through. Receive it with a bold heart, walk forward with measured steps, celebrate with humility, build with faithfulness. The battle was long, but the victory is arriving. The angels who prepared the way are not done, they will continue to guard the paths as you walk them. Archangel Michael still moves at the edges, ensuring safe passage. God's decree stands firm. Your yes has opened the channel. Now step forward, beloved, take hold of what is yours and steward it well. Your life will never be the same, and that change will be for the good of many. Hold steady, receive boldly, go in peace and power, the harvest is beginning. Beloved, it is no longer hidden in shadows. What was once beyond your reach is now standing before you, visible, tangible, ready to rest in your hands. But hear me clearly, this moment requires your courage. You cannot shrink back or second-guess what heaven has already prepared. I know the weight you've been carrying, the kind of heaviness that makes even blessings feel like a burden to lift. That is why I remind you, this gift is different. It will not drain your strength, it will renew it. This is not another battle where you must claw and scrape. No, this will come with a grace that feels almost effortless, like it has always been destined to be yours. Every time you whispered yes to God when no felt easier, you were aligning yourself with this very moment. Each act of trust, even when it cost you dearly, drew this miracle closer into your present. And now you stand positioned, not by accident but by design. You have seen blessings before, but nothing like this. This is not a crumb of comfort or a quick answer to a small prayer. This is the kind of blessing that ripples outward, shaking the dust off every area of your life. Relationships, health, finances, peace, even your view of yourself will be touched. It will wipe away the residue of disappointment and remind you that you were never meant to barely survive. You were created to walk in the overflowing abundance of your Father. Soon you will look back and say, "Now I understand why the waiting took so long." Because the delay was not denial, it was preparation. God was crafting something greater than you dared to imagine. Even now, in the unseen, angels are positioning themselves, arranging details with precision. They are swift, bright, unstoppable, moving through your life to ensure nothing can block what heaven has ordered. Chains that held you for years, some visible and some hidden, are snapping right now. Walls you thought were permanent fixtures in your story are beginning to tremble and crumble at the sound of God's command. Do not mistake this for chaos. Heaven never moves in disorder. Everything is orchestrated with perfect timing. You, my beloved, must feel this truth deep in your spirit: you are worthy of what is coming. Do not let the enemy whisper otherwise. Your mistakes have not disqualified you. Your scars do not erase your destiny. God already accounted for every fall, every wrong turn, and still he wrote a story that ends in victory. That is why the opposition was so fierce, because if you ever reached this point, the enemy knew he could not stop what God was about to unleash. Now is the moment to lean in without suspicion, to trust without reservation. Trust is the key that unlocks the wide door standing before you. And at that threshold, your angel stands guard, sword drawn, ensuring no thief dares touch what belongs to you. The only step left is yours. Cross through. On the other side, the air itself is different, lighter, filled with the fragrance of prayers answered and promises fulfilled. Even as you read these words, you are engaging in a prophetic act. Each sentence is like a seed being planted into the soil of your heart, growing roots of faith that will keep you steady as the weight of blessing settles on your life. You will not be swept away in shock, instead you will be prepared, strong enough to carry it fully. I will not leave your side. When storms rise, I silence them. When paths twist, I clear them. Nothing will interrupt what God has decreed for you. This is not just a good season, this is the appointed season. And once it begins, it cannot be cut short. The blessings that are breaking open now are not temporary, they will root, multiply, and overflow. Beloved, you cannot fathom how much has been happening for you in the silence. You thought heaven was quiet, that your prayers were bouncing back unanswered. But silence was never absence, it was strategy. God was layering strength, weaving protection, and hiding your miracle where the enemy could not touch it. Some blessings cannot be rushed because shallow roots cannot survive storms. While you were waiting, your foundation was being reinforced. That is why when this miracle lands in your hands, it will not slip away. Every delay, every unanswered question, every not yet was carving stability into your story. When God gives this to you, it is to stay. Understand this, what is arriving is not a passing relief but a permanent shift. This is not a breeze that visits for a moment and drifts away. This is a transformation that changes the very atmosphere of your existence. It will touch corners of your life you didn't even know needed healing. Broken areas will light up with restoration. Forgotten dreams will breathe again. Even the way people perceive you will change. And most importantly, you will look in the mirror and no longer see someone merely surviving. You will see a child of God walking in undeniable provision, clothed in a grace that human logic cannot explain. Feel the urgency, beloved. This window of alignment is unlike any you've had before. Picture a door swung open wide, but only for a time. You cannot afford to hesitate now. Faith is not about waiting until you understand, it is about stepping while the ground still feels uncertain, trusting it will steady beneath your feet. Say yes in your heart, say yes in your spirit. Answer this invitation like someone opening the door to a long-awaited guest. Because when you do, the blessing will not linger outside, it will enter and it will stay. I tell you again with unwavering clarity, this is not small and it is not random. The battles you fought, the nights you cried, the storms that nearly broke you, they were all part of preparing you to hold what could not be given too soon. And now, beloved, the time has come. Heaven's tide is rising and it carries your name upon its crest. The fragrance of answered prayers is already in the air around you. Lift your head, open your hands, say yes. For what was promised is now ready, and what is ready is now yours. Beloved, understand this: what is unfolding in your life is not chance, not random, not coincidence. This is the careful weaving of divine hands. Heaven itself has been orchestrating every detail, pulling threads from places you never saw, tying together moments that felt scattered and aligning them into a tapestry that only now is being revealed. What once looked like broken fragments are being pieced into a design so magnificent that you will marvel at how it all fits. If you could see the heavenly blueprint, you would realize why so many delays, so many closed doors, so many detours were necessary. They were never punishments, they were protections. God says, "I have not been withholding from you, I have been preserving you." There were things you thought you needed that would have drowned your spirit. There were people you begged to stay that would have crippled your destiny. My beloved, those no's were not rejection, they were redirection. And now the timing has shifted. The clock in heaven has struck the hour of your release. The doors that refused to budge in the past are swinging open, not because you pushed harder but because the appointed moment has come. I see angels moving like guards unlocking gates, and they are not timid about it. They move with authority, clearing paths that have been blocked for years. You might wonder why now. Why after all this waiting? Beloved, there is a rhythm to heaven's plan. Just as a seed cannot bloom in winter, your promise could not bloom before its season. But spring has come to your spirit and the soil is ripe. What felt buried is now sprouting. What was hidden in the dark is breaking through the surface, stretching toward the light. I must also tell you this: what is coming is not small. It is not a token gift or a partial answer. It is weighty, it is abundant, it is overflowing. It will spill into areas of your life you weren't even asking about. Think of it like rain falling on a field. You ask for one crop to grow, but the rain will make everything flourish. Your relationships will heal, your finances will shift, your health will strengthen, your peace will deepen. This is the kind of blessing that redefines your story. And yes, there will be those who watch in silence, who whispered before that you would never rise, who doubted your ability to stand again. God is setting the stage so that even they will see. Not because you need to prove anything, but because His glory is best displayed in the lives of those the world overlooked. Your testimony will shine as evidence that God restores, that He elevates, that He keeps His promises no matter how long it takes. But hear me clearly, there is still a choice for you to make. Blessings are not forced, they are received. Even the richest banquet cannot feed the one who refuses to eat. I see a golden thread stretching from the throne of God straight to your life. It brightens every time you believe, every time your spirit whispers, "Yes, I receive." And when doubt creeps in, that thread flickers. Do not let hesitation dim what heaven is igniting. Beloved, there is freedom entering you now. Chains that felt like part of your identity are breaking. The lies that told you that you were too broken, too late, too flawed, they are dissolving in the light of truth. You are not disqualified. God factored every mistake, every stumble, every scar into the equation and still chose you. That is why the enemy fought you so hard, because he knew that if you reached this moment, he would no longer be able to stop what God has ordained. I need you to grasp this: what is entering your life is permanent. This is not a passing season of relief. It is a shift in atmosphere, a new chapter that cannot be erased. You will not just survive anymore, you will thrive. You will walk with a confidence that comes not from human strength, but from knowing heaven backs every step you take. Even now, I see angels preparing the final touches of this release. They are stirring hearts of people you have not yet met, aligning conversations you have not yet had, arranging opportunities you could not have orchestrated yourself. Soon you will walk into rooms where favor has already been spoken in your name. You will see doors open without you knocking because heaven knocked before you arrived. Do not dismiss the small signs. That sudden peace in your chest, that unexpected encouragement, that random door opening, these are the first drops before the downpour. Pay attention, for the blessing will not creep in quietly. It will arrive with weight, with authority, with evidence so undeniable that your only response will be to say, "This was God." And beloved, let me remind you one more time, you are ready. Do not shrink back. Do not question if you can handle it. The years of waiting were not wasted, they were training. Every tear watered the soil of this harvest. Every prayer stacked like bricks in the foundation of what is now rising. You are strong enough not because of your own power, but because heaven has been fortifying you all along. So tonight, as the heavens lean closer, as angels stand guard, as the courts of heaven whisper your name, say yes. Say it with your spirit. Say it with your heart. Say it like you are opening the door to the guest you've been waiting for all your life. And when you do, beloved, the blessing will not linger at the threshold, it will enter and it will stay. Beloved, what you are walking into now is not random chance, it is orchestration. Heaven has been weaving threads together like a master artist creating a tapestry where each color, each knot, each line has meaning. You could not see the pattern while it was being stitched, but now the picture is coming into focus. What felt like wasted years, scattered losses, and broken pieces were all parts of a divine design that is beginning to shine in your life. I see restoration rising around you. Things you mourned as gone forever are quietly finding their way back. Some relationships that ended painfully may never return in the same form, yet the love, the peace, the wholeness you believed disappeared with them will return to you in double measure. Finances that slipped like sand through your fingers will be replenished, but this time without the sorrow or anxiety attached. Health that once felt fragile will begin to strengthen. Even your soul will feel lighter, as though invisible weights you carried for far too long are finally being lifted away. Understand this clearly: this is not empty optimism. This is the very nature of God's promises. When He restores, He never gives back in the same way. He multiplies, He beautifies, He transforms what was broken into something whole and radiant. Just as a seed dies in the soil only to rise again as a tree, what you thought was lost has been planted into the ground of your journey, and now it is sprouting in forms more glorious than you imagined. You may be wondering, why now? Why am I hearing this with such urgency? And I will tell you plainly, it is because you stand at a sacred threshold. A threshold is not just a doorway, it is the very line where one season ends and another begins. Heaven has already stamped its decree, the blessing belongs to you. But a threshold requires participation. You must step forward in faith, not shrink back in fear. You must agree with what God says about your life instead of bowing to the whispers of doubt that try to keep you small. If you take this step, the blessing won't just touch your life for a moment, it will settle, take root and grow until it becomes permanent fruit. Even as these words enter your spirit, you can feel the shift. That sensation deep inside is not your imagination, it is your inner man rising to meet the truth. You are not merely being told of a miracle, you are standing in the first breaths of it. I am not here to entertain you with words, I am here on assignment to make sure you step fully into what has been prepared for you. And I will not leave until that mission is complete. What is happening for you now is not a faint dream in the distance. It is a living reality pressing into your present moment. The very air you are breathing carries the fragrance of your breakthrough. The veil between what you prayed for and what you will soon hold in your hands is thinner than it has ever been. That is why I speak without pause. This is not the hour for hesitation, distraction, or half-belief. Every fiber of your being must align with heaven's decree. Do not think that God carried you through endless storms, heartbreaks and nights of loneliness only to show you a glimpse of His promise. No, He brought you here so you could dwell in it. Every test, every trial, every tear was shaping you, training you, preparing you to stand strong in the middle of fulfillment. You were tested more than you know. Battles raged in the unseen. The enemy plotted moments where he expected your faith to collapse under the weight of despair. And yet every time you came to the edge of surrender, God whispered strength into your bones. That whisper was enough to keep you standing even when you felt broken. And because you endured, because you pressed forward when giving up seemed easier, you now stand at the very moment heaven marked for you long ago. Hear me, miracles rarely arrive in still waters. More often they burst forth in the middle of waves when life still looks unsettled. That is why you must not judge the timing by what your eyes see. The right time is not determined by circumstances, it is determined by what God says. And God has said now is the time. The evidence may not be visible in the natural yet, but in the spirit it is undeniable. The doors are unlocked. The path is clear. The blessing is already moving toward you. I see angels carrying pieces of your miracle from every direction. Some pieces are opportunities you already know but haven't been able to connect. Others are surprises waiting just beyond your sight. People will suddenly remember you, speak your name and reach out, not realizing they are fulfilling divine instructions. Conversations about you are happening in rooms where you are not present, and those conversations will lead to favor in places you never even applied. This is how heaven orchestrates, nothing wasted, nothing missed, everything aligned. Beloved, let me break one more lie. You are ready. I know the enemy has whispered the opposite, telling you that you're not holy enough, skilled enough, or prepared enough. But the truth is, preparation has been happening within you all along. Every so-called wasted season was training your spirit, sharpening your discernment, deepening your capacity. God does not release blessings into unprepared hands, and the fact that I am speaking to you now is heaven's proof that you are ready. Right now a sacred exchange is happening. As you open your heart in faith, the weight of old burdens is being lifted. Space is being made inside you for what God is about to pour out. That heaviness you carried was never yours to keep. That old chapter cannot follow you into the new one. This is why people, situations, and even habits have been falling away. You may have felt it as loss, but in truth it was clearing. Heaven has been making room for what truly belongs to you. I tell you with absolute certainty, once this shift settles it will not be snatched away. You will not have to fear that the blessing will vanish as suddenly as it came. This is not a fleeting gift, it is a permanent change in your atmosphere. From this point on your life will bear fruit in places where you once saw only barrenness. And when the fruit comes, remember this is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is the fingerprint of God on your story. And everyone who once doubted you will see it. Not because you need their validation, but because God delights in showing His glory through the very ones the world underestimated. You will become a living testimony that He restores, He elevates, He fulfills promises even when it feels too late. So take heart, beloved. The orchestration is complete, the threshold is before you, and heaven itself is cheering as you step into what was always yours. Beloved, I see it so clearly, the ground beneath you is no longer barren. The very soil where you once poured out your tears has begun to sing with life. What felt like endless waiting has now become a field heavy with harvest. And I tell you with certainty, I am walking with you into this new place. You will not stand trembling on the edge uncertain if you belong. No, you will be escorted right into the heart of God's promise with every old chain shattered, every shadow erased. When you glance back it will finally make sense. You will understand that you were chosen all along, carried when you thought you couldn't walk, and destined for this very moment in history. I know the ache that has lived inside your chest, this mix of longing and exhaustion, like someone holding their breath for years. You've served faithfully in seasons when the silence was deafening. You planted seeds into what looked like cracked, lifeless ground. You gave when no one saw, prayed when no one listened, and wondered secretly if any of it mattered. Let me tell you plainly, not one act of faith has been wasted. The ground has been working beneath the surface, hidden from your eyes but preparing something greater than you ever imagined. Now the time has arrived. The earth itself is about to respond to every hidden act of trust. The delay you felt was not denial, it was construction. God has been behind the curtain orchestrating details you couldn't yet see. He was preparing the timing, strengthening you, shaping your character, and aligning circumstances so that what comes now cannot be shaken. Had it come earlier it might have slipped through your fingers. But today you are ready. Every battle you thought was breaking you was really forging capacity inside you. Every closed door became a wall that redirected you into destiny. Even the fire you walked through has left you refined, shining brighter than before. And now as I look into the atmosphere around you I feel the stirring, it is like the low rumble before a storm. But this storm is not here to destroy. This storm carries blessing. It is the rushing wind of favor sweeping away barriers, opening paths and placing opportunities directly in front of you. Even now unseen hands are moving. People you do not yet know are being stirred with your name on their hearts. Conversations about you are unfolding in rooms you've never entered. Proposals, offers and invitations are forming that will shock you because you didn't even think to pray for them. Heaven's coordination is perfect, every resource, every person, every moment set exactly in place. And beloved, understand this, what is coming will not be a struggle to receive. You will not need to chase it, beg for it or prove your worthiness. God has already stamped this blessing with your name. It belongs to you as surely as the sunrise belongs to the morning. When it arrives it will feel so natural, like a missing puzzle piece slipping effortlessly into place. But I must prepare you, when the blessing becomes visible not everyone will celebrate. Some may whisper, some may question, some may envy. Yet you do not owe anyone an explanation. The same God who delivered this gift will guard it. Your role is to stay rooted in gratitude, moving forward without being pulled into distractions or the weight of others' opinions. Do you see what is happening? Even now patterns that bound your family line for generations are breaking. The blessings coming into your life will not stop with you, they will spill into your children, your community, and even into those who never believed breakthrough was possible. You will walk free where others stumbled and your testimony will become a guiding light for countless others. This is why the battle was so intense. The enemy feared the ripple effect of your victory. He saw how far it would stretch and he tried everything to stop you. But beloved, the turning point has arrived. His grip is broken. Stay here in this moment, do not rush past it. Let these words sink deep into your spirit for they are not just words but a confirmation of heaven's decree. The angel assigned to you is standing guard ensuring no thief can steal this moment. The door is open, the light is streaming in and the air is shifting around you. You are breathing the same air as your miracle. The veil is thinner than it has ever been and you are standing inside the first steps of fulfillment. Heaven's timing is never late and never fragile. What begins now will not fade like smoke, it will root itself deep and flourish. You will step into rooms you once only dreamed of. You will carry peace where there used to be heaviness. You will laugh in places you once wept. Beloved, this is not only about blessing, it is about transformation. The way you see yourself is changing. The way others see you is changing. You are no longer the one scraping by in survival. You are the one walking in divine abundance clothed in favor that cannot be explained by logic. The weight of the past is lifting and the fragrance of answered prayers is filling your atmosphere. So take this moment seriously. Lift your head. Open your heart. Breathe in deeply and let hope expand inside you again. The old has ended. The new is here. And I will walk with you until you are fully standing in the reality of all God has promised.